So now is the time for us to complete this circle. So you remember that I asked you to write on a piece of paper something that you're letting go, that you're releasing. So what you might want to do is to put it on a separate piece of paper, maybe a sticky or whatever, so you write the thing that you want to release. Or if you want to, you can write a journal entry, you can write a letter, you can write, whatever feels good for you in your own soul's expression. There is no one way. That's something else that I do. I'm not telling you there's one way to do everything. The one way for you is your way, which might be different than mine, and that's completely okay. So whatever feels good for you, whether it's writing it on a piece of paper, if you want to write a poem, if you want to write a journal entry or a letter, if you want to draw something, make a painting, make a dance. But what I'm inviting you to do, though, is to do something physical. Don't just think it. Actually do something physical about it. So even if you kind of take a potato and then you put like push pins on it, it can be super simple, but do something physical that represents what you want to release. And then tonight, as you go under the full moon, because even though the full moon was officially at midnight earlier today, Eastern time, it's still the full moon for 2 to 3 days, right? And you can do this process every full moon if you want to. So what I invite you to do is to take that thing that you're ready to release, and as you are creating it, put your emotions into it, put your intentions into it. So you kind of give it life, you kind of feed it that energy that you are releasing. And then go under the moon and I wonder if you can find a place within yourself where you're just filled with gratitude. Thank you for that thing that you're releasing. Because it had a purpose in your life at some point, right? So just thank it for that. And then lovingly, you put it to rest. So if it's a piece of paper, maybe you want to burn it along with some pieces of sage or cedar or some other medicinal plants. Same thing with the drawing. You might want to burn it. Or if you're near water, you might want to release it in water. You might want to bury it. Really listen to your soul, listen to your intuition as to how your soul wants to release this. If you do something that you leave out in nature, however, the one thing that I'm kind of cautioning you about or asking you to do is just to make sure that it's organic and that it is going to compost, so that we don't leave something that's not safe out there for the animals. If you want to leave a food offering, you just leave it there and know that the animals, the insects, the earth is going to take it over, and that's perfect. It's a cycle of life, right? So just leave something out there in nature under the full moon and just open yourself up to the moon. Feel yourself completely washed by the light of the moon. And then when you feel ready, then you go back inside. If you still have time, then take a bath or a shower, or at least wash your face, wash your hands and your forearms, just to symbolize again that you're being cleansed of that you're letting it go. Or if you want to do a salt scrub, that's also really good. So it's just sea salt that you might want to mix with some coconut oil, and then you just rub that on your skin, and it feels really good, and your skin will be so soft after. And then you kind of just rinse and pat dry. And that just symbolizes that you're clearing your energy of that you are releasing. Now, as a follow-up for that, now that you've released it, don't call it back into your life. Sometimes we do that. We say, oh, I'm releasing judgment. And then we start judging again, right? So you need to know you are releasing it. So now your actions must be congruent to your decision to release, right? I've been in some homes before where I've done, for instance, clearings of spirit. But then after the spirit was cleared, then the people in the home wanted to talk to that spirit again and kind of inviting the spirit again at night. I said, no, well, if you released it, release it. Don't try to have a relationship with it again, right? Same thing with, I see so many women who break up with their boyfriends and then they text and call and everything. So when you break up with that habit, you break up, let it go. So that means that there might be a grieving process. So be very gentle and be very loving with yourself as you go through the grieving process of letting that thing go. It's not always easy. It's easy and it's magical and it's instant. And yet for that human experience that we have, that's where the rubber hits the road in a way, right? That's where we need support. So that's why having the circle is so important for me. And I invite you that when you need support to write a post, to reach out, to say, hey, I'm doing this. Can I get some cheers? Can I get some motivation? And if we can build a circle together. So it's not just me coaching everyone, but together we can support each other in what we're doing. So I invite you to post and to be active in the circle. And that's how we're going to bring healing around the world, is by healing ourselves first and cheering each other on. So we'll conclude this. Thank you so much for being present, whether you're watching live, and also sending lots of love to those who are watching this recorded version as well. You're in our hearts just as much. So again, reach out if you need help. And if you want to post a picture of whatever you're creating to release, or post something that signifies your new sense of self after the release, I invite you to post that celebration as well, because releasing is something that we need to celebrate. So I invite you to share something to celebrate with us in whichever form that feels good for you. And so with those words, I am closing the circle, and I thank the spirit guides who are here with us today. I thank the goddess who is here with us today. I thank Virgo for lending her energy and giving us wisdom into our own senses of perfectionism in the shadow side and in the light side. And may we go forward from this point on feeling more whole and more empowered, and knowing that we can serve each other from the highest perspective instead of judging and criticizing ourselves and judging and criticizing each other. May this be our practice, that we serve and support each other with a lot of love and compassion. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love to you all. And we'll see you soon. The next circle is going to be on the new moon, so in 2 weeks' time. And I'm going to announce it very soon. It's going to be in the next level circle. But I'll give more details as they become available, as I channel them. So for now, remember to finish those pieces of journaling that you want to journal. Create that thing that represents what you're releasing, and have a really, really magical celebration under the moon.